This segment.
CVA's Acura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy. CVA's Acura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy.
All right, guys, welcome back to the studio. If y'all want to call in, y'all go ahead and do that now. It's 615-737-7767, and we'll go ahead and start taking some of those calls. And while we're waiting, we're just going to keep talking about, again, just what we're seeing so far in the deer woods for right now. We're going to move on to some crappie here in a little bit. But first off, Courtney, congratulations again, not only on your first buck, but your first two. That was awesome. She got just a little excited, didn't she, Ann?
Just a little bit.
She gets a little fired up. I might have saw a video clip of her earlier of an upcoming hunt we might see where she got a little excited then, too.
I'm still just like...
but, I mean, there's nothing like that. Because you show truly.
When it gets to where it don't affect you, you might as well quit.
Yeah, but the best part's when you pat that out and put it on the grill and just have
and then
about 8
chop
of
it
them.
up.
That's right.
I've already ate the one from Sunday.
That's right. Make that one fresh.
Okay, guys, now our number's up there again if y'all want to do it. 615-737-7767 if y'all want to go ahead and call. This segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, guys, we're getting everything together tonight. Hang in there with us. Hang in there with us. Anyhow, again, congratulations, Courtney. That was awesome.
Excellent.
You always, I love to see your emotion and how you always. Well, that's exactly right, though. That's what we love. You can't hide it because it's real. You can't make that stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anthony, let's talk numbers for just a minute. You have got. I know you've got some numbers for us. And
I do.
There's been a couple that have surprised me a little bit. A couple that didn't surprise me at all. It just kind of. But overall, statewide. Oh, we're going to go over to this week's. No, we're not. We're going to do it here in a minute. I was going to say we ain't ready for that, guys. But anyhow, statewide, we're a little bit over right now.
We are. I tell you what. Tuesday of last week to Tuesday of this week killed over 23,000 alone just in those 7 days. And we find as of today we broke 100,000 in Tennessee. And this same date last year we was at 95,000. So we're 5,000 ahead right now. And of course the top 10 they changed a little bit today. Montgomery's still number one with almost 2,500. Sumner, Giles, Maury, Stewart. Y'all moved to 7th. Wilson County did. Sullivan is 8. Lawrence moved up to 6. 2 weeks ago, Lawrence wasn't even in the top 10.
Yeah, right.
And they're 6 now. Cumberland is still at 9th, and Dixon's still at 10th. But
we moved up to 7th. It was that one I checked in the other day. That's bumped us on up here.
Well, look, I mean, y'all was hanging in around number 5 for a long time.
We have. We've been hanging in there pretty good. And you mentioned Lawrence County. They're starting to jump in there now. Some of the counties you hear, are kind of always in there, and then some of them I think are kind of sneaking up in the ranks.
There's
like
not a
County.
single West Tennessee county in top 10.
Right, but rifle season opened up, so that's the number difference. I mean, everybody
changes everything.
Listen, you got everybody out there now getting them something to eat and kill.
You do, and Thanksgiving week too. It's just a week that you have a lot of family hunts, and you have a lot, like the old langers. I love to follow Jerry's family hunt every year. I hope Jerry's probably watching tonight, but to follow their family hunt, I think it's Anthony. Do you remember if it's in the 50s, like 52 years they've done it now?
I think so, and I mean it looked like it was 30 or 40 of them there this year.
And that's right here in Tennessee, but it's a tradition that they have followed now for over 50 years.
Great.
And that's that Thanksgiving week, and so much of that happens. And you see an overflow of these numbers come in.
And we talked about that. There's people that bow hunt. There's people that muzzleload hunt, and there's people that really get into the rifle season.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't start till
And there's people that hunt a deer during bow season, and a guy that ain't hunted all year kills him during rifle season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
it happens all the time.
That's the way it is.
Now, in specific too, because we've talked about some of these earlier. Hardeman County, where you're at, big changes going on there.
We're down almost 300 from where we was last year, and we finished last year at a 39-year low. And I've got all the records for the whole state, all the way, I think, from 1960 all the way to now. And you know me, I'm a numbers guy anyway. But it's looking like this year we're going to end up like it would be 1980 when we was on the incline.
Yeah.
Is what we're going to probably finish up at.
Wow.
Fayette County's not going to be far behind. Every county in unit CWD is up except for Fayette, Hardeman, and Haywood.
Now, wouldn't that kind of be considered the heart of the CWD zone, though?
It is. And the numbers jumped up to 138 this week, with Fayette having 65, Hardeman 60. But then you got 3 counties, Haywood, Shelby, put my specs on, and Madison. Haywood and Madison is at 4, Shelby's 2, Hardin, Lauderdale, and Tipton's 1. But you get in the southwest part of Hardeman and southeast Fayette, they estimate 50 to 60% of the deer have it.
Yeah, it's really, and to kind of add on to that, some of you may have taken deer here locally in the last week or two and dropped yours off for testing, because here in Middle Tennessee now, just over the last few weeks, they have started now doing some pretty heavy testing around here.
Sure.
Quite a few of our local processors, our friends over at Flowers, they partook in that. A lot of tests were taking samples from there, and we'll start hearing from that. Here before too long, we'll start hearing some
I
results.
think you're going to start seeing it. I think when you get over towards Hawkins County, and I know that because
that's further east.
Right.
So those of you who don't know, and I agree with you 100%, but there's a big gap between Hawkins County and where, and Anthony and I both too, and several others in our circle, but we both believe that it's
I think
already
if you looked at those counties surrounding Hawkins, you're going to find it. And I'm not saying it's one of the reasons, but I do know a guy that he lives in Hawkins County. He's hunted in Tennessee, in our county for years, and he called me. But before CWD, it actually came in 2009. People say you don't know that. Yes, I do know that. It came 2009.
That's right.
It did not get detected until 2018. With these people from Hawkins County, they killed deer perfectly legal. They carried them back to their home to clean them up. They're perfectly legal.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
And but now that particular farm in that area, I'm telling you, it's eat up with
Now
it.
think about how much that's happened statewide in other counties.
That's
Also
exactly
perfectly
right.
legal people.
Right.
We got a couple of calls here. Let's go ahead and grab. I'm gonna get one here. Michael, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing real good, buddy. I thank you for letting me call you.
Absolutely.
Hey, what I wanted to tell you or ask you is on the duck season, we had Saturday and Sunday for the last few years. We've hunted Saturday and Sunday, and then we're off Monday through Friday, and we start back on a Saturday. This year, the zone I'm in Big Sandy, it don't start back until Monday. So if you're used to going out there Saturday and Sunday,
Don't be going.
after Thanksgiving, don't let it slip up on you.
That's the whole state.
Let me tell you.
November calendar, and it don't open again in our zone until Monday.
That's
Well,
right. And I'll
it's
tell
just
you
one
what,
zone
Michael,
now. It's no more.
Right.
It's only the whole state's in one zone.
It is. Now it will be in one zone, but I'm glad you called that as a perfect call, because we were just on break a while ago, and Dayton brought that up, and Anthony kind of let the air out of somebody the other day when they found out that it didn't open until Monday. But thank you for calling. I literally had a note written here to remind everyone of that tonight, that it is not Saturday and Sunday. It does start Monday. The waterfowl season does. So don't get out there Saturday, or you might get a visit in your blind that
It
you
would
don't
have been
like,
a bunch of them in Hardeman County got a visit.
So
Good game wardens, but they got to do their job.
That's right.
yeah, they'll take good care
you.
of you. Well, thank you for calling. Have a good night. Good luck to you.
All right.
Ricky, how are you doing? We got feedback.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Ricky, try us again, okay? Call back in, and if you will, though, you're going to have to turn your TV down in the background.
Yes.
It makes it feedback, and it just won't work. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things that will not do it. But definitely give us a call back. Michael, thank you for calling, because, again, great information on that. Last thing we want somebody out there having the hunt of their life
And I
Saturday
still
morning.
bet you it will be.
Oh, it will. There'll be
Guarantee.
some, and I would say there will be some people out there listening and waiting.
That's right. Because you cannot mistake a duck hunt.
No.
I'm going to tell you. Kind of like if somebody's shooting a roost. You know when somebody's shooting a roost.
You know, them old boys are trained just a little bit to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's go right now and go over and do this week's tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is being sponsored by Cryolite Realtors, our buddy Wes Stone. Y'all can give him a call, 615-289-9551, or stop in there at the office and see him at 1432 West Main Street in Lebanon, Tennessee. He can take care of all your real estate needs.
Has he killed anything?
And not yet. I hear he's after a few, though.
You gotta watch him.
Well, I tell you, you mentioned Gerald a while ago. I got it. So right now I'm gonna set this up. My buddy Gerald Smith, that is who tonight's tip of the week is from, and it's a great one.
Right.
A few weeks ago, for the product of the week, we had hot hands. You remember we talked about hot hands, how far they've come these days. They really have. It's a great product now. Well, you know how they'll last 8 to 10 hours or whatever it says on the pack. So you might go out that morning, hunt 3 or 4 hours, and then you go back to the house. You got to do some stuff
They got
while
an
you go back.
18-hour now, just about.
So now you can take those hot hands and you can put them in a Ziploc bag and squeeze all the air out of it and seal that bag up. And when you go back hunting that afternoon, open it back up and they'll still be just as hot, ready to go hunting again. So take the air away from them. They'll be ready to use when you get back. Great tip from Mr. Gerald. We're going to get ready to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more Southern Woods and Waters.